Red tide has affected everybody here on the Suncoast, even the artists. Dave Skaggs is a 360-degree artist. He calls his work Dave's World Art, and he uses whatever washes ashore on the beaches to create it. Dave joins us now to tell us more, and we certainly want to know more about his friends here. Dave, you're a fairly new artist, right?
Yes.
Tell us what inspired you to get started.
Well, I had a heart attack about 5 years ago, and my doc told me I had to, walk the beach and stuff, and I started looking for purpose after that. Why am I still here if I'm just doing the same thing? And this is what kind of happened out of me, starting to learn about new things, and I started out making palm from like little fish and stuff, and it's kind of morphed into this.
So everything, I'm confused here, everything we see came from your walks on the beach?
Pretty much everything.
Oh
this is all from the palm fronds. If you look at Siesta, as you pull up, they have a bunch of beautiful palm trees. Well, I collect a lot of those palm trees, and as I walk the beach, for this is the red tide raptor.
Oh.
And everything that was collected on the raptor had to sacrifice their life to be here.
Wow.
It all died from red tide. The front of this is all fish heads.
Oh.
Each one of these represents a fish that washed up on the beach.
Oh my.
You have the big horseshoe crab, one of the oldest animals. Thousands of those have washed up from red tide. Even down in front, you have the baby eels. Little eels, a few of the times that when I walked the beach, there were hundreds and hundreds of eels that washed up.
They are amazing things. What about that guy behind you, that giraffe?
This is Trixie the giraffe. Trixie's actually on a skimboard, and this is all made from the palm fronds, big palm tree. And I take different palms, different pieces of the palm tree and put it all together.
Now, you call yourself a 360-degree artist. What does that mean?
Well, I take things from what God gives me from nature, and then I turn it into something kind of neat.
Well, these are really kind of neat. I hate to say about this monkey, but he's got a little beard like you, doesn't he?
Well, he kind of does. He's a monkey man. And I've always been kind of a little guy monkey type, so, it kind of fits me well. And actually, the monkey man even has some little bitty fish bones from a spinal cord that I put in here just because I can.
That is totally amazing, Dave. Now, you have a show coming up, right?
Yeah, I have a show coming up starting this Thursday night at the historic Spanish Point Museum.
Now, are you going to have this kind of thing there?
All of these things will be here, plus many other things.
Wow.
I have big loggerhead turtles, sharks, dolphins, all kinds of different birds, anything and everything that, I get real interested in something like Monkey Man, and I just really, try to make it happen.
How do you think things like your show, when they're able to look at pieces like that and, meet red tide raptor, how is that going to help educate people about red tide? You told me that there's a tarpon as the base of this?
Well, in the back part of this thing.
Oh, yeah, he's got a tail. Look at this.
You see, this is all from a tarpon that washed up on Siesta. It was the bottom half of it. It was probably about a 6 or 7 foot tarpon.
Wow.
And when I saw that, I knew this thing was done.
Oh.
When I found that on the beach. But remember, it took me about 3 months to get all the smell and all the bad out of it.
That's my first thought when I saw you come in this morning with your creations here. I bet they smell bad, but they don't.
Yeah.
They don't at all.
They don't smell bad now. I go through a great long process to clean everything out and make it sanitary, but it is a long process to do. And we want to show what beautiful stuff that we have. Even on a bad thing, we can show some beauty.
Well, red tide really had a big effect on you, didn't it?
It had a huge effect. I mean, there was a lot of days when I couldn't walk and collect things, and this is what gives me my zen. To go out on the beach, to be able to collect things. I don't see any of the people out on the beach. All I see is all these treasures that I get.
and you can really share these with others too, because when I walk on the beach, I do not see these dead creatures lying there.
Right.
Well, but now you might.
Yes.
Now when
yes.
you look, you might, like to see, like for instance, this is an egg sac from the conch shells. The little conch shells come out in these, and they actually disperse out in the water, and they're little bitty. If we had where you could get really close, I put a few in the top so that you could kind of see what the different components and what's happening also with red tide, but also what's happening with the natural part of our ocean.
Is this your first show? Because you have a lot of different pieces. You've been very
No,
busy.
actually, I've been on this show. A few years ago, I came on this show.
No, I meant on what the Spanish
This is
Point.
no.
Spanish
This is
Point.
it. The Spanish Point is my first
True
show
exhibition.
to show all of my
Wow.
pieces.
And
all
one
been
is
together.
in November. It has one theme. In December, a second theme.
In the second part, starting in December, I'm going to bring in a bunch of different birds.
Okay.
It's going to be aquatic for the first part, and then we'll go from there and bring in different birds like an eagle and all the beautiful birds we have around here.
That's
Oh,
fascinating.
that's wonderful. Okay, we're excited. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you
Dave's
for having
World
me.
Art will be on display at Historic Spanish Point during November and December. The opening receptions are November 1st and December 6th. Both are 6 to 8 p.m. You can find Dave on Facebook at Dave's World Art.